I want to start by apologizing for all the background noise. I'm actually driving across the country right now, but I just got done listening to the debate between our vice president and Senator Harris, and I've got to say some stuff. And there's probably going to be like a whole 2 people that ever watch this video, but at least I said it. At least it's on the record. And that debate was over an hour, and there's no way anybody in the right mind will listen to an hour of me talking politics. So I'm going to try to make this as quick, as painless as possible. I want to start with the woman that was proctoring the whole thing. Phenomenal job. That woman conducted herself so professionally and staying in her place as the proctor of that debate. Phenomenal job. I wish that she was utilized in the position to proctor the debate for our president and for previous Vice President Joe Biden in their debate. I wish they would have used her. The guy that the president had, I come from the Marine Corps, so I have a hard time not being completely honest with how people are and explaining things. So I'm going to try to keep it as censored as possible and just say, if you've ever seen crap on top of a stick, that's exactly what our president got from the proctor that was there. That guy was way out of line, way out of place. So to the lady that conducted herself beyond professional, phenomenal job. Moving on to our current vice president, sir, fantastic. You brought the true facts to the table, and I, as an American citizen, I appreciate that. Nothing you said was of your opinion. Everything you said came with stats. It came with facts. It came with the interest of the American people, which is exactly what your job is. Your job as the vice president is to do exactly what you are doing and what you did and how you conducted yourself. So, sir, thank you for the professional approach to the debate. Thank you for your service to our country as a prior service Marine. I'm telling you, sir, thank you. I wish I could shake your hand. I wish I could have met your son while I was in the Marine Corps. Phenomenal job. But I want to put main focus, because I like talking about stupid liberals and all that kind of stuff, to Senator Harris. So before we get too crazy in the comments, if you are a liberal or a Democrat or anti-America, whatever, oh, you were just super disrespectful, called her stupid and all that stuff, whatever, put it behind you. So, like I said, military background, honest guy. So, man, there's just so much to cover with the things that they talked about. I loved all of the denial of all the things that are written black and white, that the vice president brought up, that she was just, she was turning down her own campaign just for the sake of putting on the show. It was great. Her theatrics for the whole thing was hilarious. At least it brought some life and color to what we were all watching, where we had the vice president over on the side giving the facts. They could always turn camera to her and see her laughing or, giving some sort of gesture, trying to think she's of some sort of phenomenal existence to what we were watching. So I did think the theatrics were extremely hilarious. I appreciated the life to the show, but she didn't need to do it because we were already being entertained by the things that she was saying. Having said that, we'll talk a little bit more about things that she did say. I'm going to just try to hit the things that bothered me a little bit more than the other stuff. I've got to talk about the moment where she was mentioning our law enforcement and a couple of the situations that we've seen here in America. Some very tragic situations. There was a young lady that lost her life, and that's very unfortunate. It's very sad. I have complete trust as an American citizen that our teams that we, the people, have voted and put into place. I am confident that they have done everything in their ability to properly see justice. My heart does go out to the families whom have lost loved ones. I understand the pain of losing people that I love, okay? But let's talk about how, because that was her true attack. She used their deaths as a prop, not as a condolence. She used it as a prop. So let's talk about the situation, because that's exactly what she was doing. So the situation of the police entering the home and the young girl gets killed, the guy was returning fire and all that kind of stuff. Okay, listen, if anybody's going to talk about guns and defend the Second Amendment, me. Someone breaks into my house, they're dead. I'm telling you, dead meat. I am absolutely confident that before any kind of law enforcement enters into any kind of establishment, they are absolutely going to make their presence known. And I'm absolutely confident that whenever these officers went into this scenario, it wasn't tactical as far as, using suppressors and stuff like that. They weren't trying to do some sort of secretive anything. We're not talking about taking down bin Laden right now. We're talking about something that was happening domestic. All right. So I am absolutely confident that they made their presence known. So that was a huge part of the debate on if those officers need to, have action taken against them or anything, because otherwise it would have been seen as murder. And I understand that. I truly do. But so here's the other thing that I have to ask. Okay, so whenever you have law enforcement come into an establishment, they're not going to do it without calling in some sort of backup and all that kind of stuff. My question for her boyfriend pulling a firearm out to press rounds downrange, let's just say if the cops didn't make their presence known that they were law enforcement, let's just say that. What do you have to hide in your life where a team comes to your home to kill you or break in? Typically, if there's a break-in, it's something, one guy, two, maybe three, just depending on, what neighborhood you're in and all that kind of stuff, or whatever it is that they're trying to steal from you, I guess. But who is going to tactically come into your home? Unless you're up to something. So my question for him pulling a gun out isn't on the grounds of, it was self-defense and all that stuff, because like I said, I'm an advocate of defending your home. If someone comes into my home, they're dead. They're absolutely dead, because I have a family to worry about, and their lives are more important than some retard that's trying to come into my home. So I understand that. I truly do. But at the same time, if I see a well-formed team coming into my house, I need to quickly think, what am I doing in my life that a team of trained individuals are going to be coming after me? So what would you have to hide that you think that you deserve to have a team come after you? All right? So that's a question I have about it. The other thing they started talking about was George Floyd. Oh my goodness, I'm not even going to get too deep into this. As far as everything that happened, bad things happen to good people and all that stuff. I will never justify. There's always going to be rotten eggs in good environments, and action is being properly taken on whom it needs to be properly taken on. Her statement in regards to that, again, wasn't out of condolence. It was out of situation to use as a prop. So we're going to talk about the situation, not the condolence part, okay? So the situation of how he was restrained was exactly what Harris mentioned. And that was something that was absurd to me, because her reply to the situation wasn't about any kind of necessary justice for the things that have gone on, because justice has already happened. It's taking place already. She mentioned that her in the Biden campaign are going to work to make sure that police officers cannot use any kind of carotid, neck-related attacks or scheme of maneuver. That's what she was talking about. I've done martial arts for a very long time now. Okay, I have gotten to study with a lot of senseis whom I'm very thankful I was able to study under. And even in my time of the Marine Corps, if you are a Marine, you're going to know how little this actually means. But I was a martial arts instructor in the Marine Corps. And so I understand these things from the martial arts background I have in jiu-jitsu and Krav Maga and all those kind of cool things that I've had the privilege of being able to do. Listen, a police officer's job to maintain law and order often involves people of a very hostile nature. So you're going to try to tell people that are literally in one of the most dangerous jobs in America. You're going to try to restrain what they can do to defend themselves. May I remind you, ma'am, that they have families, that their life is on the line as police officers defending your safety. Last I checked, you have a security team. So pardon us low-life, scum-sucking dogs that don't understand what it's like to not have to be on the lookout for our surroundings because somebody else is doing it for us. As someone who has been attacked, my life has been on the line several times in physical altercations. Everything counts. Everything counts. Every second counts. So, you know what? They take anything carotid away from a law enforcement officer. I don't want to hear it whenever they start complaining about them throwing their knees into dudes' groins and all those kind of things. And then all of a sudden we've got these females that are going to be, saying sexual harassment and all this other kind of crap whenever they're acting like stupid X, Y's, and Z's out in town and they have to be restrained by law enforcement. You're going to cause all these problems because you're taking away a means of self-defense for the people that are protecting freedom in America. Like I said, there's going to be bad eggs in every single environment. I'm not saying that each and every one of them does the right thing, but I'm telling you the majority of any law enforcement establishment, they are good people and they do have families and their lives matter just as much as anybody else's. And in fact, last I checked, the liberal group, the Democratic Party, are pushing for things like the death sentence for the officers that are involved in these things. And need I remind you again that whenever we see criminals doing things and we start calling for a life sentence or even the death penalty, that was the most absurd thing that I heard. The Liberal Party saying, all right, death penalty for these guys and these officers that were involved, blah, blah, blah. But whenever we see legitimate criminals, and I'm not saying anything about what they're doing was right or wrong. Like I said, we're not going to get into that. We're just talking about the tool that she used. So we're talking about the scenario here. Whenever these people are being prosecuted, we have the Liberal Party finally saying, all right, take his life from him. Why are you being so hypocritical? Why are you not understanding that is exactly... If you're going to trust the justice system, you're going to trust the justice system. And are you just going to throw a fit whenever it doesn't go your way? I believe that you will, because that is exactly what the Democratic Party does. It's exactly what a liberal is a spoiled brat that will throw a fit whenever they don't get their way. Again, I understand that there are good American citizens within the Democratic Party. I'm not saying that every single one of them falls in line with liberalistic ideology. I do have questions for a lot of them and standing in the foundations of things that they do, but I have to just drop my jaw at the things that Harris said in this debate and the attacks that she took disrespectfully towards our president and all the questions that she dodged. Don't even get me started on it, and all the things that our vice president brought to the table and asked her very deliberate questions that she avoided and that she denied, though presented with fact and proof, stuff that you could find right now if you looked it up. You'll find the evidence of it. She denied all of these things. Oh my goodness. my applause to the vice president for his staying professional, because I know I could not have done that. Sir, once again, I applaud you. Talk about a guy that pulled a Lord of the Flies. I mean, he literally popped her head off, put it on a stick, and used her to mop the floor. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. It was admirable, and I'm thankful that we have him in office. And Vice President, sir, please let me remind you as well that whenever your term is done being served, serving our country as Vice President, you can run for president. I'm telling you right now, you got my vote. And I know a bunch of other patriots in this beautiful country that'll be on your side. So, sir, please keep up the good work. Ma'am, Harris, I need you to study some more, because there's some important things you're missing out on. I'm not saying everything that you've done in your service to this country has been bad. I am saying the things that you addressed and the manner you did during the debate was horrific, however. America, we have got to wake up. And then, to conclude, I'll conclude with the same thing that they did during the debate. An 8-year-old girl wrote a very important question about the way that we see our leaders conduct themselves and all those things. Vice President answered her question, calling for her to have peace and understanding, and to just know that we as Americans can work together, and we do work together, and don't fear, and be encouraged. And then they took it over to Harris, who pretty much told her to go to war. To an 8-year-old girl, go to war. She didn't present it like, stand up for what you believe in. Take a proper stand. Be peaceful and whatever. Our vice president told her to be an American. Harris told her to be terroristic, to be, we'll say, bratful. Told her to go to war. Oh my goodness. If you didn't get a summary within the moment that they were able to answer just that one question from an 8-year-old girl, if you didn't see who was standing before you, America, oh my goodness, open up your eyes. That was an awesome debate. Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, sir.